It is now the week after Pesach. We've been living in Eretz Yisrael for about 7 months, and we had a wonderful Yom Tov. We were able to have our children and our grandchildren with us, and we have some great memories, and we have some great experiences because of that. And we had one exciting Chol Hamoed trip, which I would like to share with you. However, before that, I would like to share with you a story that I recorded recently after the passing of the Gadol Ador, Reb Chaim Kanievsky, and how Reb Chaim helped guide us in picking the name, or when to name Simcha Dov, and picking the name Simcha Dov. And then I'll get back to the story that took place on Chol Hamoed and the thought that came from that. It's been almost 2 weeks since the passing of Reb Chaim Kanievsky, the Gadol Ador, and I would like to share with you our little story where we were able to consult with Reb Chaim and how he played a part in our journey. It was towards the end of 2018, and we had moved to Eretz Yisrael, and our son Dovi began to limp. And we were very concerned, and we weren't sure what was going on. It became apparent that it was a motor neuron disease of some sort, and we were still hoping that there was a refuah and that he would be able to recover from it. But as things were certainly not good, we decided to go to Reb Chaim for a bracha. We reached out to some people, and we were able to make an appointment to see Reb Chaim. We traveled that day. It was April 29th of 2019. We get to Bnei Brak, and we're told that Reb Chaim is not feeling so well, and that we should write down our requests, so it'll be easier for Reb Chaim to be able to read it, and it won't take so much time. We do so. We describe how Dovi has gotten sick and his muscles are weakening and he now needs to walk on crutches. And we go in. We're able to get up the steps. Baruch Hashem, Dovi is still able to manage that. And when we get to the door and we knock, the guy looks at us and he looks at Dovi. He sees the crutches, and we tell him we have an appointment, and he lets us in pretty quickly. We're ushered in. We are able to give our letter to Reb Chaim. He reads it, and he tells us that Dov is enough. You don't have to add a name, and he sends us away with the bracha. 11 months pass, and we have now received the diagnosis of ALS, and we are told that there are no treatments in Israel, and the only thing that we're able to do is to go to New York, where there are treatments with this Dr. Schneider. And on our way out, we decide we should consult with Reb Chaim again. But I shared with a friend of ours, Rabbi Yankee Yarmish, that we didn't really feel so, or that I didn't feel so comforted the first time, as it was very quick and rushed, and we weren't able to share our particular concerns or feelings or emotions. And he arranges that we should be able to have more time. And this time, when we get to Bnei Brak, Dovi is in a wheelchair and he's not able to get upstairs. So they have outside this contraption. Can't even really call it an elevator. And that's how people in wheelchairs are able to get up there. So my wife and Dovi wait downstairs, and I go up the steps. I knock on the door. I wait in line with everybody else, and they don't really let me in. It's very busy, and all saying that I have an appointment doesn't seem to be working. We call Rabbi Yarmish. Rabbi Yarmish calls the Gabbai. Unbeknownst to me, the Gabbai sends someone downstairs for Dovi. They come down this elevator, and they bring Dovi upstairs. A guy jumps on board and helps Dovi upstairs, up the elevator, which was very nice. But then when they get up there, they say, "Where's the father?" I'm still stuck outside because they wouldn't let me in the door. So they call me in and they bring me in. And this time, we're able to explain our concerns, share my feelings, and express why we think that Simcha might be a good name to add on, because Dovi has always been a source of Simcha and exudes Simcha, and particularly as he went through all of these challenges, he continued to have that very positive outlook, and we thought that was an appropriate name. But Reb Chaim says, again, Dov is Genug, and it's not necessary to add that name, which was comforting, that we were doing the right thing, and that we weren't at a stage where we needed to add a name. We then moved to New York. We continued with the treatments. It's about 2.5 months later, and the treatments are not having the desired effect. We still hope that they might, but it certainly hadn't really helped at that point in time. We decided to write a letter this time to Reb Chaim, and again to have Rabbi Yarmish bring it in to see, does the situation warrant it now? And this time the answer was from Reb Chaim that we should add the name Simcha, and we should call him Simcha Dov. A couple of days later in Milwaukee, Michael Tversky adds the name Simcha, and that's how that happened. So this past Chol Hamoed, we had one exciting trip. We were able to get Simcha Dov into the wheelchair, and we got him to this porch, to sit at this exact spot, and to be able to spend some time in the sun. It was a bit hazy on that day, as you'll see in the pictures, and it wasn't the best view, but it was a tremendous accomplishment. And it occurred to me the following thought. It says in the Sefer Yesod Shoresh Ha'avoda from the great tzaddik Alexander Ziskin that when Chazal were misake in the brachas of Birchas HaShachar, there was tremendous amount of kavanas and insight that went into crafting those words. But there's also the pashup shot, and that when we daven every morning, we need to remember to have in mind also the pashup shot. So here we had one story where we see that there was a tremendous amount of hashgacha pratis in guiding us in when to add a name to Simcha Dov and what name to add to Simcha Dov, and that was a life-changing event. And just like Hashem was there with us then and guiding us and being able to get the assistance of a Gadol Ador, so too Hashem was with us as we got Simcha Dov out of the house and onto the porch. Hameichin Mitzadei Gaver that we say every morning includes both of those aspects, the grand life-changing events, but also the daily occurrences of being able to put one foot in front of the other or one wheel in front of the other and walk onto one's porch. So we need to learn to be able to appreciate and to see Hashem in our life, both in the grand scale and in the simple daily events. And with that, we should be able to feel the connection and the embrace of Hashem every morning as we make that bracha, Hameichin Mitzadei Gaver. I wish you all a good summer, as they say now in the summer, and we look forward to being able to share with you more in the near future.